Today on my channel, Planner Friends, we're going to decorate my journal, and I want to talk about how to heal through journaling, how to heal yourself from your grief or pain or trauma. And yeah, I'm going to tell you how I do this as I get into this little cute journal I've created, and we'll use up some stickers, I'll use some stenciling, and we'll just have a conversation. So pull up a chair, friends. Stay tuned. Hello planner friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm One Crafty Dolo, and I'm really happy you're here with me today. Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule, spending it with me. Pull up a chair, pull up a mug of tea, coffee. I have a can of seltzer here, and let's talk about journaling. Today's project is going to be updating this little passport planner I picked up from Aura Estelle. I'm just going to decorate it. But I want to delve into is how journaling can be healing. Journaling can be restorative. Journaling is one way I have found to come to terms with things, to make sense of the world, and so forth. So I'm going to dig in here. I'm probably going to pull the booklet out, though. I think that'll make it a little easier instead of trying to decorate around the strings. This is so cute. I think these are from Annie Plans. They were sold in conjunction with Aura Estelle, and I've been decorating it in pinks and peaches. So I'm going to bring you closer. And just so you know, I've been digging through my stickers, and these are some old Simply Gilded stickers that I have here from a collection called Sweet. Little bits and bobs, and I went through my stencils to pick those out. I found some washi that works with this, and I have my two peachish orangey pencils, and so I'm going to decorate and talk. The one thing I did do ahead of time, incidentally, was that when I'm going to decorate in something like this, I go through, if you can see here, there's little tiny marks on the halfway point vertically on the pages. That helps me kind of set it up mentally before I do anything. And so, yeah, so I'm just going to decorate and chatter, and I'm really glad you're here again. I know I said it, but I'm always appreciative of people's time, which is, turns out we worry about money, we worry about our careers, and we worry about everything, and truthfully, the most precious thing you have in this life is time. And one more thing, I do have visual challenges, so sometimes I have to redo my stickers. If that annoys you, I'm sorry, but it's just my reality. So journaling. Why journaling? How journaling? What journaling? Etc. What I want to say to you is this. We all deal with grief, and we all deal with various trauma. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And even those of us who think, oh, it will be okay, I can get through, fill in the blank, you might be able to. Yes, indeed, you might be able to. But there's no guarantees here. If anything, the guarantee seems to be that at some point in your life, you're going to have to deal with some difficulties. I'm not wishing this on anyone, believe me. I really am not. But I want you to know that in spite of it, you can heal. But we think of healing is, oh, I just need time, I need space, etc. I would argue that it's more than just time and space, all right? I strongly would suggest that you have to make healing an active process. And I think that's where people kind of they mistake things. They think, oh, again, time, different locale, different job, different whatever, I'll be okay. Well, I wish that was true, but it isn't always. So, how do you activate the process of healing in your life so that you can move forward from things that are just absolutely difficult and hard to deal with? How do you get back up and live and find joy in your life again? Sometimes it takes time, yes, but in terms of the active process, I would like to bring to your attention to journaling. For me, journaling has been one of the best things I've done for myself in terms of quote unquote self-care, self-love, etc. I feel that without journaling, I don't know, I just feel like I would really have a tougher time of things. And I feel like I would struggle more. And one of these places that has helped me heal is this little journal, which sounds a little strange, I'm sure, but it is true. And I want to share with you how and why. So I started this journal only a few months ago. I started to spike anxiety again, and I was really frustrated by that. And I'll admit, sometimes I get annoyed with myself. I'm like, oh, come on, just get over it. Well, sometimes you can't just, quote, get over it, right? So I had wanted to purchase this from Aura Estelle. I'd been eyeing them for a while. I'm one of those. I'll see something online and then I'll kind of keep going back to look at it. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at sales. I'm looking at debating. Do I want it? Do I not want it? I guess that's what I'm doing. Anyway, I decided at that point to pick this up, and I wasn't sure how I was going to use it. And then it just kind of came to me, and I said, you know what? I need to heal from things that are still mucking around in my head. So I decided to create this journal as a healing space. And one of the best things I can suggest to you is when you don't have the words, use quotes. And that's what I'm doing in this. Now, I don't know where you are in terms of your interest of literature or anything like that. I can tell you this. I picked up some quotes from Sylvia Plath, who was troubled, who, you know, committed suicide, right? But was a brilliant, brilliant writer and poet. I've always been drawn to these people, whether they're Russian, whether they're not Russian, this idea of this kind of long-suffering, you know, people struggling with the world type of thing. And so I started to use some Sylvia Plath quotes in here to get myself going, if that makes any sense to you. I hope it does. And so what I've done is I started with her quotes. Then I started to write some of my own things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more. And in that process, I added in, believe it or not, some lyrics from the Beatles, which I can't say I was a huge Beatles fan, but it just seemed to fit, if that makes sense. So that's what I did. I ended up just adding in others' words when I didn't know what to say, or when I was feeling down, or when I was feeling like blah. I added in some, whoops, let's see here, there's my X-Acto knife. I added in others' words when I didn't have the words, because sometimes you just don't know where to start. And loss in grief, and it can be loss of, I can't get that straight, let's try it again. Loss of someone who's still alive but not in your life anymore. It can be death, of course. Oh, I'm gonna leave it. Ugh. How many times can I redo it? And so I wanted to say to myself, it's okay, and you will heal, and you're getting stronger, but it's taking a bit of time. I don't know what the stats are on being neurodivergent, but one thing I have learned is I think more people are neurodivergent than not. I think people don't realize how many people struggle with societal norms, and that can include how you process things and the time you need to process things. And so I don't know that I would describe myself as neurodivergent. I think my son is, so I think he and I are a lot alike. But I do know one thing, that if we are both, that's an okay thing. And I would suggest that taking your time to go through things, to work things out in your mind, that's not a bad thing. And so a space like this can really be healing. That's really what I'm trying to tell you, is that healing is an active process. So do something physical, whether it's walking, exercising, being out a bit, but also do things that help you mentally process. It could be reading self-help books. It could be, there's so many choices. It could be art, right? Therapeutic art. So what I find in terms of that in these spaces here are that this gives me those spaces. And what I mean by that is I feel here in this space that I'm able to, that's the word I'm looking for, to process differently than I would if I just did one thing. And part of the raison d'etre for all of this is to share with you how life hurts you, and it's okay if it isn't easy to get back up. We're human. We are human, friends. And so many people don't want to give you that time, that ability, that space to heal. And that's wrong. And you know what? You might have to do exactly what I'm doing and just take it for yourself. I'm just debating here how I'm going to do this. Take it the time for you, because you deserve it and you matter, etc. Okay, so this is bigger than the halfway mark. And so I would encourage you for journaling, and as I said, writing down, I'll use an eraser if I have to. Writing down words if you don't know where to begin, quotes. You can get books from the library. You can look on Goodreads or other apps and find a lot of quotes by different authors, or use lyrics. I mean, I didn't anticipate using my Beatles lyrics, and yet here I am. It's therapeutic to write things down. And so I went in and I wrote some of the lyrics to the song Let It Be, because at that moment, that's exactly what I needed. And you may say to yourself, wait a minute. Okay, so big deal. You wrote down the lyrics to Let It Be. Congratulations. You're a Rhodes Scholar. Well, guess what? It did help me. And it's one way it might be able to help you. And that's all I'm trying to say and do here today, friends. I want you to be you, the best version of you. And to do that, sometimes it just means you've got to heal from the traumas from before, whatever they may be. If it's possible to do it quickly, you would, but sometimes it's just not. And I'm your little friendly reminder that that's okay. You're allowed to take time. So I decorate this in part because if I didn't decorate this space, I wouldn't be so prone to writing in it and using it. So I create, basically I'm creating a two-step process here is all I'm doing. And I'm trying to remind myself that, sorry, I'm just looking at this, that it's okay to take time. It's okay to take plenty of time and just heal. And so today, that's what I'm here to say to you. I want you to be well. I want you to heal too. And this is one way I have found that works spectacularly well. Now, realize something too. One of the things I've learned through this channel and through crafting in general and trying new things and experimenting and so on. First off, we write ourselves off way too quickly with regards to I can and I can't, I do and I don't. We do that. I'm sorry, but we do. We tell ourselves who we're not, who we think we're not, what we don't do. You can create any doggone journal you want. Okay, let's be clear. And so you start off slowly. If you had told me I was creative, I would have laughed, other than writing, but turns out I can do a heck of a lot more. And so I am doing more, and I'm really proud of that fact. So combine writing and art, combine writing and crafting, combine words in art. It doesn't have to be an actual journal. You don't have to write complete sentence. You can just write words that you're feeling. You know, what if you did an entry, suppose it was about anger, and you create vibrant, rich artwork to reflect that? What if you create collages or mixed media arts to help you, let go of things and to be present and to, you see what I mean? There's so many ways you can do this, and you don't have to spend a fortune. I did buy this fancy little planner, but the truth is I also have a $5 journal that I picked up on Mercari. Lately there's been kind of a rush on pen and gear notebooks in the planner community. There's been a rush on Mead spirals and so it doesn't have to be something expensive. It just has to be something that works for you. But I like creating a nice space for myself because I know then I will come back to it again and again. So let's just take a look as to where we are right now. There's a lot on that page. There's more boxes and stuff, and I like that here. And we have to do another page over here. Sometimes I look back for inspo. I had a lot more of these stickers than I do these peachy ones. Oh, you know what I did do though? I showed you how this washi. I may use some of this washi. Why not? The only thing about this paper that I'm still trying to get used to is it's once you put it down, it's hard to get up, and that's great if you don't have visual challenges. If you do, well, it makes it a little more difficult, shall we say. But I'm getting there. I'm starting to get better, but you can see here so I have to pull it up a little slowly and reposition it. This is Tomoe River paper. I know the thin paper is a big thing now in the community, which is fine. I'm still adjusting and getting used to it. I like that, actually. Just a little something there. And what I like to do, let me see here, is create different kinds of boxes. So I have this one. Actually, let's go over here. Let's try it in the middle. No, let's do it right there. Then I'll have to erase that middle point. I'm using pencil in part because there is the capacity to erase, but this paper is thin, so I'm not gonna stamp or ink in here. I'm using different methods to create, but that's not a bad thing either. Go get yourself a pack of Crayola colored pencils for, a bargain price, and just grab some kind of notebook and do it. Okay, do I want to add any of these here? Yeah, I'm running out of stickers, so there's that. But I'm glad I'm writing them in. I'm using them up, rather. That's a good thing. Just gonna put a little one here. And let's put this green one. My quest is to use as many stickers up as I can. I wouldn't mind adding a little bit of a decorative flourish up here. Let's see this again. So why don't let's see if I can figure something out that'll work here. Yeah, I like this one. So I'm just gonna stencil this. These stencils, incidentally, are just look up bullet journal stencils on Amazon. They were $6.99 for a pack. I did purchase another pack. I'm not as crazy about it, but I do use it occasionally. but just bullet journal stencils. Yeah, that's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. So you know what I'm going to do? Just kind of, okay, that's something at least, right? And I'm going to put another one down here. Just to have the basic. I'm not an artist. I'm not good at drawing, even doodling. I'm kind of, but that's okay. I work around it, and that doesn't stop me from being creative. So let's talk a little bit more about what you, oof, that one's terrible. Goodness gracious, that's terrible. Let's try again. Let's talk a little bit more in terms of journaling. So this is, for me, a journal space for dealing with loss and grief. Maybe you're dealing with hurt or trauma. You could be dealing with family issues, okay? And so to process that, getting an extra space isn't a bad thing, I would say. I think I need to sharpen this pencil. It's part of the problem. And so for me, just for me, I would suggest that the object here is healing. And, you know, life, it's important to heal from trauma because life is going to only throw more stuff your way. And I wish that wasn't true, friends. I really, really wish it wasn't true. But it is. And so to move forward and to be prepared for whatever's coming next, it kind of is important to do these things. And so I would suggest, whether it's pain, it's loss, it's, oh, there's so many things, you know. And see what I mean about this paper? Boy, it's tough. It is important also because if you can't heal from what's happened, continuing forward is that much more difficult. And I honestly, I don't want that for anybody. Really, I don't. And so I'm here to just say, maybe take a beat and care for yourself, and maybe realize if so, sometimes through journaling, for what it's worth, you can see what toxic people bring to your life and what they've done to you. And that's a hard revelation, but it's not necessarily a bad revelation. Sometimes it's, unfortunately, dare I say, very necessary. So I'm just suggesting that to get rid of some of that toxicity, you might want to turn to something like this. And it can help you from shifting blame on yourself, which is what often happens, and owning the behaviors of others, to putting the blame where it genuinely belongs. So my suggestion then would be, to journal, would be to exercise, would be to care for yourself in different ways. I'm not trying to pontificate here. I'm just trying to give you some of the reasons behind this and so forth. And again, I like to create the pretty spaces because for me, that means I will come back in here and do some of the work in here. You know what I'm going to do? I don't know if it's going to come up so easily, but let's try it. You just have to go really slowly. Okay. I'm glad I picked this up. These two aren't quite in sync. I'm glad that I had the sense to buy this and to do this. And how is it helping me? A lot. I'm starting to see my way through some loss, some grief, some angst, and not feel so responsible for other people's whatever. Okay. We are almost done here. I'm just looking to see if I have any. Oh, yes, I do. I have 3 more of these, so I'm going to use, this is one way to use up all these stickers, or at least the majority of them. I will be doing another order with Simply Gilded at some point. I used to subscribe, but I don't anymore. So I will need to do an order at some point. And yeah. Okay. I love it. I love how it came out. Whoops. Come on, you. Get up. Excuse me. Oof. All right. So this is one quick and easy way. I didn't use as much of the washi as I thought I would, but I really dug into the stickers. So how many pages is this? 2, 4, 6, 8. What have I got here left? So this sheet is completely done. This only has a few little things on it. This does have one that I could use, and these are all like shopping list, meal planning. And then there's these, which I pretty much used all of them. Not all, except for these up here. So that's pretty good, actually. And that will leave me with, let's see, 2, 4, 6, oh, wow, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Okay, so I still have quite a bit in here, surprisingly, but that's okay. It's a way, like I said, to process. Use lyrics, use other people's words. It'll help you reflect. It'll really, again, I did use the words to let it be in here, and that was a moment that I needed for myself. And, you know, this is really important. And again, here we have Sylvia Plath. And I'm not sure how I'm going to utilize all the other journals in here, but I'm willing to find out. And I'm certainly willing to take time and put this into my mental health and my well-being. As always, my goal is to inspire you and to encourage you and to lift you up in creativity and in love for yourself, friends. Thanks so much for being here today. Thanks for creating with me. This one's a little busy, isn't it? But I kind of like it. I like the fact that this one's simple, but you can see I pressed down, so that comes right through. You have to be so careful with this. I've got a sticker on my thumb, and this is cute enough. Yeah, I could do another page with some orangey boxes and so forth, but I guess for right now I'll let her be as I said. All right, friends, thanks so much for your time, for the gift of your presence. I really hope you have a wonderful week, planner friends. Thanks now. Bye.